Welcome back to Wanderlusting Lawyer. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. Today, I did a video about the footwear that I was going to use on the Camino de Santiago before I left, and that is what I ended up using. But today, I specifically want to talk about the sandal that I use because I'm convinced it is the absolute best sandal to use on the Camino de Santiago. Now, I know before you guys disagree and tell me all your favorite sandals, I'm joking. This is the best sandal for me, and I think it has a lot of features that would work great for a lot of people, but obviously it's totally subjective. You should try on a bunch of different sandals like I did and really see what works best for your feet. When I was doing research I've never used a hiking sandal before the Camino. And when I was doing research, I really saw three main brands keep popping up, which were Tevas, which I've known about since I was a kid, that have come a long way, Chacos, which I'd kind of heard of but never had used or wasn't really familiar with, and Keens, which I was convinced were only for my parents who were in their 60s. So I tried all of them in the stores. I didn't try, a lot of people like to go to REI, buy different brands, use them, and then figure out what works and return the ones that don't. Thanks to REI's amazing return policy. I didn't do that. I didn't really have the time. So what I did was I found that Keens were the ones that fit me best. And I bought one pair of Keens, and then I realized I wasn't a fan, so I found another one. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I'm convinced that the best hiking sandal, especially for the Camino de Santiago, is the Keen Venice 2. This is what it looks like. They come in all types of fun colors. I kind of just wanted a neutral color. I felt like this would not show dust the best. And this was a great sandal. I loved it. The downside is they're pretty heavy, but let me tell you, when I started getting pinky blisters, to have a sandal that would give my foot extra space was an absolute godsend. So what I think makes these the best sandals out there are, one, the fact that they have this toe guard, this completely closed toe guard. I may be kind of klutzy, I admit that, but there are rocks of all sizes on the Camino, and you're bound to hit one. And if you hit it wrong, you could very, very, very easily break your big toe or other toes. I am convinced I would have if I did not have closed-toed shoes and sandals. So I think that is a huge, huge feature. The other thing, and maybe the most important thing, is the fact that I think this is the only Keen that has a Velcro opening in the back. The other ones are all slip-on, and that's the one I originally bought was a slip-on. I think it was like the Hydro. And the more I read about hiking sandals on the Camino, people said their biggest complaint was little pebbles and rocks getting stuck in the sandal, having to take the sandal off, get them out, put it back on. I'm gonna tell you guys, that will happen 100% of the time. I mean, every time I wore these sandals, I had little rocks and pebbles get in there. It certainly happened less because of how decently closed the webbing is, but it was so nice when I had to take them off to just be able to unvelcro it, slip it off, clean it out, and put it back on. The other Keens that I tried that didn't have that feature, they were so hard to get on and off, and that would have driven me absolutely crazy. So in terms of Keens, I think this is the best model I've seen anyway. And just more about Keens generally, they're just really comfortable. I mean, the footbed here is squishy and supportive. They have a huge, super grippy sole. And if I could put in a plug for hiking sandals generally, I still think the best bet is to go with a mix of, especially if you're doing a summer Camino like I did, which tend to be drier, a mix of a trail runner, mine was New Balance, and a hiking sandal, because when it does rain and you pair these with a waterproof sock, which I've talked about in a couple of my videos, which, I mean, they're amazing. They're a little expensive, but I walked through a basically more than ankle deep puddle on the way to Leon one day, and I had my waterproof socks on because I knew the rain was coming, and these sandals, and everything was dry by the next day. And a lot of people I was walking with could not say the same about their footwear. So To summarize, I think Keens are an excellent choice. Do what works for you, but if you are going to go with Keens, check out the Venice. I think this feature here could be enough to sell you on these sandals, because again, they're super easy to get in and out of, and you will find rocks under your feet more often than you want to on the Camino. But you just, you take the good with the bad, and in relation to all the amazing that's out there, rocks under your feet aren't that big of a deal. But when they're there, it's nice to be able to get them off easily. Thanks for joining, guys. See you soon.